Alright everybody, what is up? Thought I'd make a little video about Dave Bautista, who of course is in the news lately. He's going to make a return to the WWE, probably the feud with Triple H. I know that he started a little deal to beat up Ric Flair. So yeah, I don't know if he's coming back as a heel or a face in that regard. Probably going to be a heel, I would imagine. I don't know. But of course, Dave Bautista has made quite a name for himself now in films. We all know him from the Guardians of the Galaxy films as Drax the Destroyer. And he's also going to be in the new Dune movie. He has quite a semi-impressive filmography, if you will. Started back in 2006, where he really went on a limb and played a wrestler. And then he's actually been in Scorpion King 3, The Man with the Iron Fists. He was Brass Body. And I remember Riddick had a little bit of a part in Riddick. I thought he did pretty well. And then started Guardians of the Galaxy. Now he's as Drax the Destroyer, obviously. Spectre, he was in, he played the bad guy in the last James Bond movie, Spectre. And I watched Kickboxer Vengeance. He's actually made quite a bit of movies. Bushwick, saw that, and it wasn't the best. Interesting movie. Blade Runner 2049, mixed reviews on that movie. I liked it a lot, though. Of course, he was in Infinity War, one of the players in that as well. And he has Endgame coming up, and I think the new Dune movie, it's not on here, but if I'm not mistaken, 2020, Dune is coming out. Kind of a reprisal of the 80s movie Dune, which didn't do very well. Had Sting in it and some other people, but it was a pretty good movie nonetheless. Back kind of ahead of its time. Got panned a little bit. But Dave Bautista recently was interviewed. He says he doesn't like being compared to The Rock or John Cena. He hates it. Everybody does it. He says those guys are wrestlers who became movie stars. He's something else. He was a wrestler, now he's an actor. I don't know what the difference is necessarily. It sounds the same to me, but and he goes on to say The Rock was, in a way, a movie star before he was even a star. And you can say that because The Rock has a certain amount of appeal. There's something about him, and that's really special. He'd never take that away from The Rock. Would he consider The Rock a great actor? He says, F no, he does not. He wants good roles. He doesn't care about Fast and Furious or Bumblebee, which was John Cena's latest movie. That's not the kind of stardom he wants. He wanted to be in Dune. He wants to work with good directors. He wants to work with Sam Mendes and Jodie Foster. He wants to work with Academy Award winners, and he's proud to be a character actor. He wants that respect and credibility and education. Although you could say his character Drax couldn't be any farther from that. He's a bit of a comedic afterthought, I guess, in some of these movies, but he certainly doesn't get a lot of the ass-kicking in that you would think Drax, with a name like the Destroyer, would actually get. Now, I'm not sure what that is. I guess he's not one of the main characters per se, and one of the strong actors in that regard. But nonetheless, he does have a screen presence. He's just not. He says also that he's just never going to be a kind of guy that goes after $20 million a film. He doesn't even want $20 million a film. He wouldn't know what to do with it. I'm sure he's well off right now with his years in wrestling. Dude's 50 years old now, and he's obviously lost a ton of muscle mass. Still a great guy, but when you're in that, looking as big as he was for that many years, it takes something to get there. It's very hard on your health. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you might not, but it's common sense. So you just can't look like that, particularly when you get older. It's just too hard on the body. It's too risky on the heart, etc. He actually talked about going to the Golden Globes with his wife, and he felt weird. It was bizarre. He looked around. He saw Danny DeVito, Oliver Stone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Taylor Swift, and all he was thinking to himself was, what was he doing here? He told his agent's wife, he was kind of uncomfortable, and she said, guess what? Everybody here is uncomfortable. So, pretty interesting stuff. And then, of course, we all know that he stuck up for James Gunn when James Gunn's tweets came out a while back. And, he kind of stuck up for him and said that, if it costs him some acting roles, he's fine with that. Here's kind of a side-by-side shot. Dave in his wrestling days when he had hair. So yeah, you can see. I mean, he's still a big dude. I think he's like actually about 6'3", not 6'6" as he built in wrestling. But he's still a big guy at 50. I'm sure he would be rather imposing for most people. Um, he just and also got fined. One of the things that drove him out of wrestling that he talks about as well was that he made himself bleed in a match, and the WWE was going over to fan friendly, kind of turning the corner, and he wasn't supposed to do that, and he got fined $100,000. I didn't even know they did that in wrestling, to be honest. But McMahon fined him $100,000, and he decided, hey, this wasn't for me. I'm going to try and be an actor. And of course, he tried his. Here's Inspector, right here, I think, filming Inspector. And of course, he tried to be an MMA fighter. He did win one MMA bout. It wasn't that impressive. I think he fought a journeyman MMA fighter. You can see in this pic he's lost a lot of size. Just doesn't work out or take the assorted chemicals that he needs to take to stay as big as he was. But that's an age thing and a health thing. And in Hollywood, you don't want to be this big muscle-bound guy necessarily. I mean, you compare this picture, that's pretty crazy, to that one. So there's probably cuts down. A lot of these films they don't want you to be too massive. There's a gigantic picture of him there. Another one when he's hulked up. There he is as Drax. You can see not quite as big, but naturally probably a big guy. So Dave Bautista, here he is in Kickboxer Vengeance. Again, I don't understand. He talks about wanting to be a credible actor, but roles like this aren't really going to do that for him. So hopefully he's figured that out. I guess money is money per se, but then again, he doesn't want money. I suppose you take whatever you can get. Try and put your signature on it. Try and put your image on it. I like Dave Bautista. From what I heard, a lot of wrestlers thought he was kind of a arrogant guy, and he actually got into some fights backstage, etc. Whatever, I don't know. But I like Dave Bautista is in his movies for the most part. I'm glad that he got into acting, and hope he gets some more parts along the way. I think if he's trying to branch out into more the acting that involves more seriousness, more talent, etc. I wish him luck. Hopefully, he's taking some acting lessons. Along those lines of tattoos. He's full of tattoos. That'll hinder his casting in some of these movies. They don't look for that as much. So he's going to have a hard time with that without being typecast. But a lot of guys with tattoos make a lot of movies. Johnny Depp, etc. I mean, he's not an actor. As good an actor as Johnny Depp right now. But I'm just saying they can hide those tattoos. And so dude, again, the dude's 50 years old. I'm sure he's got a lot of money in the bank. And interesting character. I do think he has a screen presence. They didn't play that up in some of these in the last Avengers movie per se, but that's just how it goes. It is what it is. Making a name for himself in Hollywood, and he dresses pretty sharp. All right, guys, don't forget to get your gear concealedcrew.com. Also, check out Golden Biohack if you are out in the Denver area. Improve your body, improve your mind like you would not believe.